Your presence speaks volumes. You understand that the issues before us, disaster recovery, fighting for the families who lost loved ones in the floods, human trafficking, and more, are not abstract policy debates. They are real-world problems demanding immediate solutions. But instead of confronting those challenges, some of our colleagues have fled the state in their duty. They've left the state, abandoned their posts, and turned their backs on the constituents they swore to represent. They've shirked their responsibilities under the direction and pressure of out-of-state politicians and activists who don't know the first thing about what's right for Texas. To be absolutely clear, leaving the state does not stop this House from doing its work. It only delays it. And every day this chamber is unable to act, the cost grows. In response to this dereliction of duty, and pursuant to the rules of the House, I am prepared to recognize a motion to place a call on the House and any other motions necessary to compel the return of absent members. Should such a motion prevail, I will immediately sign the warrants for the civil arrest of the members who have said they will not be here.
We are not only going to punch you back, but we are going to knock you out.
We are ready to fight fire with fire. No butter knife to the gunfight. We are ready to bring the fire, bring the heat.
This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather, right? Which would bring a pencil to a knife fight. We're bringing a knife to a knife fight.
This is an all-out war, and everything is on the table.
You know, the press, y'all been getting something wrong. I've been seeing a lot of headlines that say that these Texas legislators are fleeing. These Texas legislators ain't fleeing. These Texas legislators are fighting. Yeah.
I think it's a bad look for a party that claims to be always trying to protect the democracy is to hole up in a state that gerrymanders.
We on now. They respect us cause we on now. Money up, run a whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down. Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't my shit common. I set a goal for me 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of the Countermove Podcast here on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. CST. If you guys, thanks so much for kicking it with your partner today. If you could do me a favor, real fast, guys. No matter what platform that you're on, like, share, and subscribe. And if there's a bell there, guys, click on that bell so when your partner comes live, you can come kick it with me, man. We can talk a little bit, man. Man, today is going to be a very good one. And you know your partner live in Texas, so this hits home for your partner. All right, man, let's talk what's going on, man. There's been a lot of news going on in the state of Texas, man. The House, the Texas Speaker of the House and the governor and Texas Attorney General, they are threatening arrests. We're going to talk about why these arrest warrants were issued. What does it mean? Number 2, this is due to the redistricting and voting rights. What's happening is Texas right now is going through a redistricting. They are redoing the map itself for redistricting. All right. And there's a lot of discontent on the liberal side concerning the redrawing of the map. Number 3, we're going to talk about the Governor Abbott, his role in this whole thing, man, because he has a big role in this. And lastly, man, this is going to be this national political theater, man. This here, man, is this really a big old show? It's really a big old show, but is this really political power at its finest, guys. All right, guys. Well, guys, let's dive into the topics today, guys. First topic we're going to talk about today, guys, is, a Texas showdown. The Speaker of the House, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, in concert with the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, they have threatened arrests of Texas Democrats that have left the state, and they went to Illinois, I believe Massachusetts, New York, to boycott the quorum. We will talk about all that quorum stuff in a second, guys, but let's dive into this, guys, about what actually happened real quickly. Let's dive into this. Here is the Texas Speaker of the House. He's going to chime into this real quickly, guys. We're going to look at him real quickly, and we're going to see what's going on so that we can see exactly how all this happened, guys, and so we can kind of unpack this together, guys. All right, here you go. Let's get into it.
There being 94 members present, a quorum is not present.
Okay, real quick, what a quorum is, right? A quorum is very simple. A quorum is whenever you actually have the House in session, whether it be special or in session regularly, there has to be what they call a quorum. That means all of the voters, all of the House members have to be there to vote, right? And you just heard the Speaker of the House just say there is no quorum because everyone is not there. The necessary number for the vote is not there because a lot of the Democrats have left. Not all. A lot of them have actually left. Here we go. Let's dive into this real quick. Here we go.
Members, may I have your attention? This morning, I met with the leadership of the Texas Department of Public Safety to get a full briefing on their efforts to locate and return the members who are actively trying to thwart the legislature from performing its duties. DPS is actively working to compel their attendance after I signed their civil arrest warrants yesterday, and will continue to do so until those members are back in this chamber. Mr. Guerin moves that the House stand adjourned until 9 a.m. Wednesday. Is there objection? Chair hears none. The House stands adjourned.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The FBI get involved.
So right there, you hear the Speaker of the House acknowledging that the Democrats are not there, right? The majority of them, not all of them, majority of them are not there. And he has gaveled in and he has counseled with the Texas Attorney General as well as law enforcement. Law enforcement meaning the Texas Department of Public Safety, right? He talked about them. And he talked about issuing warrants for the arrest of the Democrat Texas congressmen, people that actually have left. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them. But at the exact same time, there is a process in that. Now, when they come back in Texas, they're not going to take them to jail. They literally take them into the house, right, to where they can see, and they lock the doors. They lock the doors so that you can't leave until the vote actually happens. Right? That's how that actually works. They're not going to jail. They bring them to the Texas Capitol and they go into the house. And they can boycott and not vote if you don't want to, but you will not leave that chamber until it is voted. That means if you have to sleep there, you have to sleep there. That's what actually happens when it comes to these types of situations. All right. So this is the first time this has ever been done in Texas. This is actually done in 2021, I believe, as well, over another issue. All right. Let's keep it going now. Let's go to the national stage now. President Trump's talking about this now. Let's talk about the FBI getting involved. Here we go.
Should the FBI get involved?
Well, they may have to. No, I know they want him back. Not only the Attorney General, the governor wants him back. If you look, I mean, the governor of Texas is demanding they come back. So a lot of people are demanding they come back. Well, I think they've abandoned the state. Nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice before. And in a certain way, it almost looks like they've abandoned the state. It looks very bad.
We are welcoming and are proud to welcome members of.
Now you see that this is the Massachusetts governor. She's talking. She actually has Senate behind her, or Texas House members, right? These are House members of the Texas State House. They're in Massachusetts. Let's get it in. Here we go.
Of the Texas State Legislature, who are here today at the State House, We just had a meeting to listen to them, to hear from them about what it is that is happening in Texas, how wrong it is, what is happening to their constituents and to voters in Texas, and to also talk about what this means for voters around the country, including here in Massachusetts, all of whom, all Americans, impacted by an attempt at a power grab by Donald Trump,
Wow.
Governor Greg Abbott, and Attorney General Paxton.
You all hear the game Texas Hold'em. Well, we are literally holding the line on democracy, not just for Texas, but for our nation. We are here to talk about with other legislators from around the country. This is coming to you. You're next. This is not a Texas problem. This is a United States of America problem.
We're going to see in a second how accurate she is concerning what type of problem this is, because she's making some startling claims. She's saying that this is a threat to the democracy. It seems to be when things are not going the liberal way, the normal verbiage is what the Republicans are doing is a threat to democracy. That's normally what they say. We're going to see in a second if what she's saying is accurate. All right. And we're hearing that this is a power grab. That's exactly what the Boston governor just said. So let's finish it up, guys, and then we'll bring in the liberal side. All right, here we go.
Today, President Trump said that he was entitled to 5 more seats in Texas. That? 5 more Republican seats.
When did he say that?
And we're here to say nobody is entitled. The people of those districts are entitled to those seats.
So that was on the Guardian, guys. It was on the Guardian. Thanks so much to the Guardian for that. I don't recall Trump saying that he was entitled to those seats. Again, is a bit of a projection here. A little bit of some projection there. But anyways, let's go to the next one, guys. All right, we're gonna stay right here, guys. We'll stay right here. Real quickly, let's get the liberal side of this as well. All right, let's get the liberal side of this as well. Let's let them talk as well to see what's going on, because of the fact that what we're kind of seeing right now is differences in people responding to what's going on, and we're going to see how consistent they are. Because remember, they're saying what Texas is doing is a threat to democracy. It's a power grab. It's not good for people, and it goes against what the voters want. That's exactly what they're saying. All right, let's get it in. Here we go.
Into the defense of Texas Democrats who skipped assembly sessions to avoid a GOP-led effort to redraw congressional maps.
I want you guys to remember this map here. All right, remember this map here. This is the Illinois current map. Remember this map. We're going to revisit this map and other maps as well. Here we go.
Others in the party agree.
When Donald Trump says jump, Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton say how high. They don't care that they're violating the Voting Rights Act.
Let it be said that Democrats.
Hold on, violating the Voting Rights Act? What Voting Rights Act are you talking about, Governor Pritzker? What act? I would have loved to have for you to cite that statute. Let's get into it, y'all. Here we go. Again, here we go.
Democrats took the stand to preserve and save democracy.
Patriotism means standing up for our Constitution in this time when it's under assault.
And we'll hear more from DNC Chairman Ken Martin in a moment. But first, let's go to Mike Tobin. He's got an update for us on the news. Hi, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning, Dana. So you know the Texas Democrats took a move out of the Wisconsin Democrats' playbooks, and they left a state to prevent a quorum on a vote for something that they don't like, Texas redistricting.
Remember what he just said? He just said the Texas Republican Congress has taken a playbook out of the Wisconsin state Congress. Well, the state Congress, the Wisconsin state Congress is Democrat. I thought it was a threat to democracy. Well, I digress. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get back to it. Here we go.
Now, the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, always willing to play the Republican foe, welcomed them with open arms. Then he took his soapbox to the highest profile Democrat safe space, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night.
The great heroes of the Texas House Democratic Caucus decided the only thing they could do in order to stop it was leave Texas. And where did they decide to come to? The safe haven of the state of Illinois, where we're going to protect them and take care of them.
He is auditioning for two things. He's auditioning for being the leader of the Democrat Party, and number two, for a presidential run. I promise you. Let's get back to it.
Now, here's the irony. Back in 2018, Pritzker vowed to veto any redistricting map drawn up by political leaders. Jump forward to 2021, and Pritzker approved the Illinois congressional map. You can note the unusual shapes of the 13th and 17th congressional districts. The new map gives Illinois Republicans a 14-3 majority over Republicans and locks it in.
So again, remember we talked about coming back to this map. Right, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Back to this map, guys. Look at the map. Look at the map. Let's make it a little bigger. I want you guys. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. I'm gonna take this off, make it a little bigger, so we can see it. Look at this map. Boom. Look at the map, guys. I want y'all to see it. Look at the map. Look at this thing. I want y'all to see this. He just said 14 Democrat congressional seats. This is for the U.S. House, right? And 3 Republicans. In the entire state. Entire state, guys. Look at that. But hold on. We're not done. Let's come back to it, guys. Let's come back to it. And let's see exactly what's going down here. Here we go.
For 10 years, despite the fact that Trump garnered more than 43% of the Illinois vote in the last election. Illinois Republicans say Pritzker gerrymandered.
So watch this. Again, I'm sorry to keep stopping and going, guys, but you got to understand what's going on here. Is on the liberal side, you have J.B. Pritzker, the sitting governor of Illinois, saying that this is violating the Voting Act, right? He didn't mention no statute at all, but in 2021, he did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And signed it, and he signed it into law. He signed it. I thought it was a threat to democracy. And then if you go a little bit deeper, President Trump won, as far as the voting, 43% of the vote in Illinois, right? 43%. But the House seats for the U.S. House is 14 Democrat, 3 Republicans. A bit unstable, a bit skewed there, rigged, huh? So it seems to be that the same guy, J.B. Pritzker, is an expert at doing this because he did it in 2021. Let's get into it, guys. Again, facts, data, numbers.
The state to hell and back. The nonpartisan Princeton gerrymandering project gave Illinois 2 F grades for both partisan fairness and geographic integrity.
Look at that map. Look at that map. This says, let's make it a little bigger. I want folks to see what's going on. Let's make it bigger. We got to make sure that we're right. This says the nonpartisan gerrymandering project at Princeton University, liberal-leaning Princeton. Liberal-leaning Princeton, okay? All right? It says for the 2021 map signed by this Governor Pritzker, the one that just said that what Abbott is doing is a threat to democracy, and it goes to the voting act, the voting acts, whatever it is, the voter act statute. But let us know what that statute was. They said that the overall grade for this Illinois redistricting map is an F. So liberals giving other liberals Fs. Partisan fairness, F. Geographic features, F. This is liberal Princeton giving a liberal state and liberal governor and liberal state house and liberal Senate an F. Look at this, guys. Look at this map. Are we serious? They have a whole. If you look over here, guys, if you see this over here, right here, guys, look at this district across the state. Across the state? Damn. Wow. 14 Democrat, to 3 Republicans for the U.S. House. 14-3. In Massachusetts, there is no Republican representing Massachusetts. Not one. All seats are what? Democrats. All the seats. All of them. I thought it was a threat against democracy. I thought it violated the Voting Rights Act. I thought. I guess now it doesn't. Now it does, but back then it didn't. I got it. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Let's get it. Here we go.
Now, while Texas Democrats are in Illinois and other states, they're looking at a $500 fine per day for missing work during the special legislative session. When he was asked yesterday who is footing the bill for them, Governor Pritzker said he hasn't written a check yet, but he's not reticent to do that. Dana?
Mike Tobin, thank you so much. And here now is DNC Chairman Ken Martin, who is now back in Washington, D.C. It's good to see you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Let me get an overall take from you on where you think things are going, because we've seen this movie before, and we know how it ends. The Democrats don't have the votes in Texas to stop it. I'm assuming they're going to go back unless they plan to leave the state forever. What do you know?
Well, look, I think the Texas House Dems are going to do everything they can to continue to fight against these illegal, unconstitutional acts of Governor Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, and others in Texas. That means staying out as long as they possibly can. This isn't just...
Hold on, player. Hold on, big dog. Big dog. Brother, I know you're DNC chairman. So you must be a very knowledgeable person when it comes to law. So how is this unconstitutional? You guys keep saying these broad statements with no statutes, not one. How is this unconstitutional? And if it's unconstitutional, where was all this fervor back in 2021 with Illinois? Back in 2019 with California? Nothing was said then? It's cool then, but not right now. I got it. Okay, let's keep it going, guys. Again, here we go.
Some sort of stunt. I mean, this requires everyone at this point, not just Texas Dems, but people throughout this country who are quite outraged at this illegal power grab by Donald Trump and Greg Abbott.
Illegal?
Okay. They went to Illinois. We showed you that map of the very extremely gerrymandered situation there in Illinois. It gets an F grade from the Princeton Gerrymandering Project.
Yeah.
You said it was illegal. We asked Texas Governor Greg Abbott about that on Monday. Here's what he said.
What did he say?
Why now? 2 reasons. A court decision affecting Texas came out and said that coalition districts are no longer required, and it's perfectly legal to dismantle coalition districts. The second is gerrymandering can be done, or drawing lines can be done, on the basis of political makeup, and there's nothing illegal about that. And then when you look at the outcome of the most recent presidential election, all these districts that are being added are districts that were won by Trump.
Okay.
Are you concerned overall, as the head of the DNC, that part of the reason Democrats are up in arms about the Texas redistricting is that Latino voters had been going towards the Trump coalition and voting that way?
Look, Greg Abbott is absolutely wrong in what he just said there. It is unconstitutional. Let me be very clear on this, Dana. The Constitution provides for a once every 10-year decennial census, and then the state legislatures are supposed to draw the lines after that. It does not allow for a mid-cycle redistricting at all in any case. And so what this is unconstitutional. Here today, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. This is a clear violation of the Voting Rights Act. This has nothing to do with which direction Latino voters are swinging or not. What this has to do with is the fact that the lines that they draw are actually disenfranchising Latino voters in the state of Texas. And the reality is it's a clear violation of the Voting Rights Act. And yes, while the courts do allow now for partisan gerrymandering, I think most Americans would agree that we should not have partisan gerrymandering on either side, which is why, by the way, Democrats put forward 2 pieces of legislation in 2021 that would have ended partisan gerrymandering as we know it and put independent redistricting committees in every single state. Every Democrat voted for that. Every Republican voted against that. So
well, there was a lot of, I'm going to let that go. There are a lot of other things in that bill that Republicans wanted to vote against. Let me then take it a bigger picture, because there's...
So was this bill that you're talking about, was this after Illinois did their redistricting? Or was it before, sir? Just asking for the folk in the back row. Just ask for the folk in the back row. Here we go.
No question that Governor Newsom and Governor Pritzker have both, flirted with the idea of running for president. And Pritzker, then he goes on Colbert. He's got all this attention. He's going to pay for the Democrats to stay there. How much of this has to do with their posturing for 2028?
You'd have to ask them. What I would say is that I know in my conversations with all of the Democratic elected officials throughout this state, throughout the country, they are unified in fighting back against this. This has nothing to do with 28. This has everything to do with 25 and 26 and this illegal power grab by the Republicans who are trying to squeeze more power out of Texas right now because they know they are certain to lose in 2026. So let's be really clear what this is about. They are trying to change the rules of the game midstream because they know they are about to lose that game. And let me be very clear. I don't care what anyone's personal motivations are for this. At the end of the day, if they're in this fight, we're in this fight alongside all of them. Governor Newsom, Governor Hochul, Governor Pritzker, other governors, members of Congress, and other elected officials who are standing up right now against this illegal power grab.
All right. One of the things that all of those blue states have in common is that their population is fleeing for red states. And that could also happen in New York. And that could be basically pouring fuel on that fire because you have the possibility of a Democratic socialist becoming the mayor and Senator Elizabeth Warren joining him. This is Mom Donnie I'm talking about. And I want to play this for you about the future of the party and get your take.
Okay.
Senator,
That's how I see it.
Is this what the future of the party you hope progressive social? Is this what the party should look like?
Yes.
Wow.
You bet. The Democratic Party needs to stand up and be clear. We are the party that fights for affordability for working families.
Okay, so she said she's from Massachusetts.
Wow.
And one of your challenges is you've got to figure out a way to win in some of these purple or red states for Democrats.
Yes, sir.
How difficult does she, Mamdani, AOC, and the progressive left make that for you?
Well, I don't think they make it difficult at all. At the end of the day, the difference between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is that we're a big tent. We have lots of people in that tent from all of the different ideological wings, from conservative Democrats to centrists to progressives to these new leftists. And the reality is I've always said that you win through addition, not subtraction. You don't win by pushing people out of your coalition. You win by bringing people into your coalition. And that includes people from all different ideological wings. Unlike the Republicans who expect, everyone to march lockstep over one agenda, we actually welcome dissent and debate in our party. We actually welcome differences of opinion, and we'll continue to do that because that's what makes us strong as a Democratic Party. We're not going to shirk away from differences. We're going to actually talk about those differences. And at the end of the day, again, you win through addition, not subtraction, not by pushing people out of the conversation.
Well, and just given the basic polling that it is, the Democrats have just had their worst polling ever in terms of approval rating. And I know, let me just give you 15 seconds to try to say, big picture, how are you going to address that? Is it based on the identity of who's in the party? Or will you have some new messages and new policies to put forward?
Okay.
Well, we have to do a better job there for sure. But remember, Dana, that the 26 elections and 25 elections will be a referendum on Donald Trump. And his numbers are actually in the toilet right now. He's sitting at 37% approval rating. He's one of the most unpopular politicians, our presidents, in recent memory. And so, listen, if I was a Republican Party right now, I would be worried too, which is why they're trying to cheat and steal these elections in Texas.
I know you and I could go on and on, but I have to get going and get back to Bill Hemmer. Thank
you. So guys, there's a lot of spinning there. I think Dana Perino did a good job at asking him some questions. She didn't push him as I would like for her to do, but I don't think she was trying to push him at all. That was not her role right there. She was just asking him questions. She's a very astute interviewer. I've seen her go in on people. So I think that was a great interview for her. As far as it's mild minutes, I think she wanted him just to talk, which is fine. Wonderful. Issues with what he was saying concerning the illegality of what's going on with the redistricting. I have some issues also when it came to him not addressing the socialism pool that the Democrat Party actually has. Elizabeth Warren came out and just said that as well. But we'll see what's going on. All right, guys. Now we have some questions here real quickly, guys. Questions. Someone says, Michael says, stop talking and do the arrest. Right. Which nobody from LinkedIn one of the users said, so what's happening? Who's getting arrested? So, well, a lot of them, let me kind of explain it real fast for everybody, all right, real quickly, because I want to make sure people understand exactly what they mean by arresting, okay? The Department of Public Safety, Texas Department of Public Safety, which is really state troopers, they have the ability to go out, and Texas Rangers, they have the ability to go out and arrest the fleeing Democrats when they actually left. Once they enter back in to the jurisdiction of Texas, they cannot go to New York, they cannot go to Illinois or Massachusetts or any other state without the governor allowing them to come, right? So once they come back to Texas, they can be arrested. Now, once they get arrested, right, what'll happen is they are not going to jail. Said it again. They're not going to jail. What happens is that the state troopers of Texas brings them to the state capitol, and they walk them into the chambers, and they sit them down. What happens is when they sit them down, they then leave the chambers. Some stay, but most of them leave the chambers. Then what happens is they close the door and they lock the doors. So therefore, no member of the House and or Senate, I believe, cannot leave until a quorum is called and a vote is casted. So therefore, if any Democrats or any Republicans refuse to vote, what actually happens is you can't leave that room. You can, if you don't vote for all night, you got to sleep there. They are literally, that the chamber is literally their jail. They can't go anywhere at all, nowhere, until the quorum is called and they vote. It's very simple. So again, they're not going to jail. Okay, I want to make sure you understand that. Now, let's go a little deeper, y'all. All right, now. This redistricting and voting rights, because you heard in the previous videos, the liberal governors talking about, it violates the Voting Rights Act without stating how. And it talks about it is illegal, unconstitutional. You had the DNC chair talk about that. But you then had a counter argument from Greg Abbott saying that actually it is legal. And he went down the precedents that actually why it's legal. So you have two different legal views, right? I'm pretty sure you can find a liberal attorney that will side with the liberal and the conservative side with the conservative. I understand that. But let's dive in just a little bit deeper, right? A little bit deeper because I want to be able to unpack this a little bit more. I believe that Will Kane does a really good job. Bring him before. He does a really good job at talking about this. Real quick. So let's bring up Will Kane, good guy, Texas boy, and he's going to talk about, go a little bit deeper on these lines. Okay, these lines. All right, here we go. Let's get him in here real quickly. Let's go. All right, here we go. Brother Will Kane, take us in, brother. Here we go.
Democrats are in full freak-out mode over Texas' proposal for a new congressional map. If it passed, the map would create 5 districts Trump carried by double digits in 2024 and help the GOP retain their House majority. It makes areas in the Rio Grande Valley redder, packs Democrat-controlled districts, making them bluer, and creates new Republican-leaning districts elsewhere. So, amidst all the freak out, let's take a look at some of the examples of Democrats gerrymandering. Let's head over to the wall. First up, let's take a look at Maryland. In 2016, Republicans won 37% of statewide votes for the U.S. House in Maryland. But they only got 1 out of 8 seats because of the way the congressional districts are drawn.
I thought it was a threat to democracy. Thought it was cheating. So I thought it was unconstitutional. It's 2016. All right, Maryland.
In Maryland. Maryland's not the only one. It also has occurred in California, in Illinois, and across the country. Let's show you exactly, though. Let's scoop in on Maryland, take a look exactly how they drew these districts. I think if you can, I don't know how tightly you can see this or come in on this, but you can see the 3rd Congressional District in Maryland. I mean, it's got lines going every which way. All the way around Annapolis, it's shaped something like, I don't know how to describe that, like a serpent. Or the 4th Congressional District, look at this, winding its way around, trying to get closer to Annapolis. That's the definition of gerrymandering, making geographically odd districts to get the voting base exactly how you want it. By the way, in 2020...
So hold on. Again, I thought it was unconstitutional. I thought it was. We just had the DNC chairman say this. It's unconstitutional. It violates the Voting Rights Act. Where was all this hubbub then? It sure was quiet. What happened?
It got struck down so bad a court took the map and called it illegal. But this is Illinois. They're also guilty of gerrymandering. Their 2020 map, it drew Dems. It wiped away all 3 toss-up districts in the state, and even threw out 1 solid Republican district, giving them almost a net of 4 new seats in Illinois. So why the freak out over the Texas map? Joining me now is Texas Public Policy Foundation Vice President Chuck DeVore. Chuck, it's great to see you. There's a lot of freak out because it's potentially the case that Republicans can pick up 5 seats in the House if Texas is successful in redrawing its map. But has Texas done something different than any of these other states?
No, Texas is not doing anything different at all. And in fact, other states have done mid-decade redistricting. You saw that in Pennsylvania in 2018. Look, this is all about politics. It's all about power. If you look at Texas.
Again, he showed you Illinois. He showed you Maryland. Now he's heard about Pennsylvania and California. So 4 liberal-leaning states, 4 have done this in the last 10 years. 4. But now Texas is doing it. Now it's unconstitutional. It's against the law. It violates the Voting Rights Act. It's just, I mean, we need to make a big hubbub about it. Let's get into it.
Today and what they propose, once Texas is done, if in fact this gets passed, and that's an open question, by the way, then Texas will still not quite be as gerrymandered as California. So even with all that effort, California still squeezes out more votes per seat than would the proposed Texas seats.
And help me quantify that. Something like 40% of the voting base in California actually is Republican. Yes. But some small percentage of House seats from California are Republican.
Yeah, it's about 18%. And what Governor Gavin Newsom is proposing to do is to overturn the will of the people. There is an quasi-independent redistricting commission that was put in place through a ballot initiative. And what he's proposing is to blow that up, to somehow challenge it. I really think it's just about his presidential campaign aspirations, by the way. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. But he wants to squeeze another 5 seats out of the current majority. The majority is 43 Democrat seats to 9 Republican seats. He wants to, I think, to take that down to 4.
I took a look at the Texas map, and I mean, it does, though, make some geographic sense. Yeah. The whole idea of gerrymandering or gerrymandering is that you draw, nonsensical lines to get the outcome that you want. And then once you get into urban areas, it's harder. It gets a little different. But if I took a look at California, I mean, what does that look like?
Yeah, so again, a good question. Usually with the bigger states, you have more real estate that you can work with. California, under the Independent Commission, does try to keep communities of interest together. And interestingly enough, the proposed Texas map would increase the number of majority-minority districts. It would increase the number of Hispanic majority districts, and it would create 2 black majority districts where today there are none.
Well, Chuck DeVore of the Texas Public Policy Foundation, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Han.
So again, guys, I want you guys to see is my whole point about this is a power grab, and both sides actually do it, right? My critique of the liberal side is you've done it 4 times in 10 years in 4 different states. But it was cool when you guys did it. But now the Republicans are returning the favor. Now y'all get mad. It don't make sense to me at all. But no problem with it at all. We're not done. Don't go nowhere. We're not done. We're not done. Now, let's go a little deeper, guys. Now, let's bring in some additional commentary talking about these redistricting lines. Now, let's get a little legal, and a little strategic. I always say when it comes to politics, it's always look through the lens of strategy, capital, impact. Strategy, capital, impact. Let's go into strategy now. Now we talk about strategy, all right? Strategy, all right? Because this is all strategic. This is all strategy. This is power politics. Let's go ahead and bring it in. I gotta be honest. It's power politics. Let's bring some other folks in real fast and let's talk about strategy on this, all right? Strategy. All right, and then we'll bring in Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott, he's gonna go in a little bit deeper. Here we go.
Find the badge. Now, Governor Abbott is threatening those Dems with the risk of daily fines, among other severe consequences, like felony charges and removal from office. At stake here is control of Congress. The effort to redraw the congressional map in Texas could give Republicans up to 5 seats, giving the GOP an advantage in next year's midterms. Texas House Speaker Dustin Burrows is now signing civil arrest warrants, citing dereliction of duty after dozens skipped off to blue states. But those Dems aren't backing down. Here's a few of them during a press conference in Illinois last hour. Watch.
Right now, there's folks saying that we walked out. And I think everyone behind me will say, we're standing up. And as Texans would say, we're standing tall.
My Republican colleagues in Texas, you wrong for this. You wrong for this. You already have the governor's office. You're the majority in the Senate, the majority in the House. What more do you want?
What we see here happening in Illinois is the fight for our democracy, is the fight for America. And the people standing here today are on the front lines of that fight. These are the fighters for our democracy.
And while Democrats across the country are calling foul over the redistricting efforts in Texas, President Trump is pointing out the hypocrisy.
You know, those blue states that you're talking about. You know, somebody gave a good example. In Massachusetts, I think 41% of the vote. It's a very, blue state. And yet it's got 100% of Congress, 100%. Wow. Did you notice they go to Illinois for safety? But that's all gerrymandered. California's gerrymandered. We should have many more seats in Congress in California. It's all gerrymandered. And we have an opportunity in Texas to pick up 5 seats.
Yeah.
Joey, you and I chatted about this.
So again, this is power politics at its finest. It's power politics. That's all it is. It's just power politics. Now, let's go ahead and bring in Governor Abbott real quickly for him to talk a little bit about this as well. Let's him go in a little bit deeper on what's going on here. I want to make sure I get the right video for him. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the Will Cain one. That one's probably the better one. Here we go. Here's the one with the Will Cain, and he's gonna go a little bit deeper on what's going on. Here we go.
Great to have you here on the show. You heard the reaction there from some of your fellow governors. What do you say?
Some very rich hypocrisy on their part. There are no states more gerrymandered than California and Illinois and New York. In Illinois, I think they may have maybe 3 congressional seats for Republicans, despite the fact that Trump won more than 40% of the vote there. Same thing applies in states like California and New York. I don't think those states can gerrymander any more than they have. What Texas is doing, actually, we are drawing districts to provide every voter in the state the opportunity to cast a vote for the party and candidate of their choice. 4 of the 5 districts we're drawing, they're going to be Hispanic districts. They happen to be Hispanic Republican districts. One is going to restore the Barbara Jordan district in Harris County, Texas. And so what Democrats are really concerned about, if you look under the hood, is the fact that Hispanics And even black voters are voting more for Republicans than they have for Democrats in the past. The results of President Trump's electoral victory prove that. You have a map up, and it's a map of districts. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at the map of the presidential election, you'll see all across the border counties, President Trump won those counties, which are heavily Hispanic counties.
Yes, he did.
Hispanics now vote Republican, and Democrats are losing it because of that.
And get this, guys, in 2022, the Republicans, they actually swept. Well, they ain't sweep. They won about 90 to 95% of that Rio Grande border. And that's normally, guys, they normally vote Democrat. How I know, my wife's family is from there. And they normally voted Democrat until open borders was happening. And they got really bad on the border. And when you get those mother bears, those Hispanic mother bears upset, oh my goodness. And you begin to see how that area down there went blood red. It went red real quick because of the bad policies that the Liberal Party, the Democrat Party, was actually pushing during President Biden's tenure. It's real simple. It seems to be that the Democrats who were all for open borders under Biden, right? Now what's happening is you have a different administration there who's deporting a lot of illegal immigrants, but the current legal immigrants there are saying, "Nah, we vote Republican from now on," and that's scaring them. That's scaring them because of the fact that notice how they're not prescribing any policies at all. It's just pointing how Trump man bad, Abbott man bad, Ken Paxton is bad. All character assassinations, no policy, nothing. What can you do for Texas citizens that is better than what they're prescribing? Give us the strategy. We're open to listening to it. But all you guys say on the liberal side is Trump man bad. I'm sorry, Trump man bad does nothing for myself or other voters. Give us some damn policies. And get off of damn TikTok. Golly.
Let's talk about the Democrats who have fled the state of Texas for a moment, Governor. On Sunday, you suggested they could, citing an attorney general opinion, be arrested and replaced for abandoning their office. Earlier today, I spoke to Representative Oliverson here in Texas, and he made me aware, which I was not aware, that some of the Democrats who are not showing up for a quorum are actually still here in the state. So is it the case that you could actually arrest those representatives and bring them back to Austin to establish a quorum?
So that is correct. And, Will, as we're talking right now, Texas Department of Public Safety officers are on the streets looking for those Democrat House members to arrest them and to take them to the Texas Capitol and hold them there until a quorum is reached.
All right. And then, and that I'm not sure how many, can you tell me how many different representatives that we're talking about are in the state of Texas? I believe you're 6 short right now of a quorum. Would that number bring you to a quorum?
So that's a fact that we don't know yet. We don't know which Democrats remain in the state who are not yet identified. We don't know exactly how many are out of state. But know this also, Will, and that is the Texas Department of Public Safety is also working with officials in other states to find ways in which we can try to arrest the Texas Democrat members in other states and bring them back to the state of Texas.
Well, that was my next question I was going to ask you, Governor. Of course, Texas DPS would have limited powers to arrest anyone out of state. Most of these Democrats have fled the state for that express purpose. Representative Oliverson has said that both you and Attorney General Ken Paxton, though, have looked into whether or not they're funding these trips or fundraising off of these trips, which would amount to bribery. Would that open up the potential for you to go retrieve some of these representatives who have fled the state?
Wait a minute.
That opens up several opportunities. One, bribery in Texas is a felony. Felony is the type of offense that we can issue papers to have these Democrats brought back. Another thing, though, that Democrats don't seem to know, and that is taking or receiving a payment like they have to escape or not take a vote subjects them to forfeiture of their seat.
Whoa.
That's going to be one of the legal grounds you're going to see asserted here immediately to seek the vacation or elimination or abandonment of these House seats by the Democrats. So we will remove them from office and call for elections to replace them.
But what kind of timeline? You said immediately. My understanding is that is a legal process. It would have to be established by a judge. At least that's the opinion of the Attorney General, I believe, established in 2021. And that would require a judge to discern abandonment. So that seems like that could take some time.
It will.
So when I say immediately, I'm talking about when all the paperwork is going to be filed with the courts, which is going to be immediately. Secondly, there will be requests for immediate responses from these courts, knowing that they're dealing with an immediate timeline. You're a lawyer. You know you can go into court and you can get a quick resolution for matters that have a short timetable. That's exactly what we're dealing with right here.
There's a lot of different elements to democracy. I'm just not sure when it became an acceptable element of democracy to flee the process in protest or deprive the democratically elected representatives of a majority vote. But several times now we've seen this play out in the state of Texas. So we'll be following along over the next couple of days. Thank you, Governor Abbott.
So now you've heard Governor Abbott give his 2 cents, and he's talking about going after these Texas senators and congressmen with a couple of things. Number one, if they're accepting money for being out of the state, it was just a bribe. That may be criminal intent. Number two, he's also looking at, okay, if that is the case, hey, you're here and you're out of the state, not performing your duty, right? He's looking to force them to vacate their seat, which would be, of course, a court opinion. If that actually happens, guys, you could have special elections this year for seats that may be vacated. I mean, he seems to be very serious about this, and Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General, he's very serious about it as well. So I'm like, Democrats, this is not going to work. And then another thing is we hearing that some of the Democrat House members in Texas, as well as Texas senators, are hiding in the state. Literally hiding. Huh? That what we're doing? We hide now, so that's what we do? We hide now. Wow. You can't make this up at all. We got folks hiding like some kids. That's some kids, y'all. Now, this seems to be national theater. All right? National theater. It really is. It realistically is. Let's bring in Brett Baer to talk about this in a little bit more detail on the lines. And then we get to some spicy exchanges between liberals and conservatives on the media. It's very interesting. You'll see. Let's get it in.
President Trump is continuing to push several states with Republican-controlled legislatures to draw new congressional district maps as Democrats promise retaliation. At least 10 states are considering redistricting. Texas is the only one so far to take action. First, let's head to Illinois, where the Texas Democrats first fled. Republicans there hold just three House seats. Democrats hold 14 seats, representing more than 80% of the state's district. But if we take a look at the county by county, this is the national result in 2024. If we go into Illinois, the county by county, Vice President Kamala Harris won about 55% of the vote, 27 points less than congressional Democrat success in that state. Wow. If we take a closer look at some of these counties that Harris carried, many are part of the same district. In northern Illinois, there are 3 counties. All 3 are separated, but they're part of one district, District 17. Wow. Further south, you have Harris winning counties that were nearly 200 miles apart, but in the same congressional district. Good Lord. If you take a little road trip across one congressional district in Illinois, you start down here in St. Clair County. Next stop, you go through Springfield, which was kind of a toss-up, and then you end up here again, throughout a nearly 3-hour drive, you won't leave District 13.
Wow.
Now,
that's sad.
What we're looking at here is the redistricting across the country. Let's take a look at the redistricting that has benefited Republicans.
Sure.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. He says he's considering redrawing congressional districts despite Republicans already picking up seats after the last map was created. Republicans added 4 additional House seats after the 2022 election. Critics say several Democratic seats were drawn out. Democrats won just 3 districts located around the Orlando area in 2020. Now, just 2 surround the city. Another district in northern Florida stretched from Tallahassee to Jacksonville. Those 2 metro areas are now incorporated into larger districts with more rural areas. Some Texas Democrats are now making their way to Massachusetts, where the governor there was asked about possible redistricting.
Yeah, here we go.
You know, isn't it a sad state of affairs that that's where we're at? Okay. And, you know, Donald Trump, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton have left us no choice. That's the reality.
The reality, as you can see, is that Massachusetts has no Republican in U.S. House members.
So again, theater. She's talking about left us no choice. No choice to do what, Governor? You have no Republican member, House members in your state. None. Not one. Not one. What are you going to gerrymander? Yourselves? You have nobody. No Republican. It's all Democrats. Like, can we keep it a band? For real. Wow. Again, theater. Here we go.
No Republican members, nor does any state north of New York on the East Coast, despite President Trump winning about 40% of the vote.
So any state above New York, all right? Any state above New York has no Republican representation at all in the House of Representatives, U.S. House. None. None. But now y'all are going to gerrymander now. You already gerrymandered to death.
Across that region. While some Texas Democrats are in blue states such as Massachusetts, others have stayed behind. Tonight we talk with some of those lawmakers.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to.
So again, I wanted you guys to see that. I thought that Brett did a very good job at breaking that down to make it a little bit more plainer. Again, this is just straight up political theater. That's all it is. So I really see this. Now, I won't bore you with any more legal stuff. Let's go real quickly to excuse me. Let's go real quickly to the exchange on CNN. It's CNN, y'all. CNN, all right? Exchange on CNN about this gerrymandering thing. Let's dive in this real quickly. Here we go. Let's dive in it real fast. Here we go. Let's go back. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Boom. Let's get it. Here we go.
Staying in Washington, what's the difference? Do you think, you're a Democrat, I'm not. Do you think Democrats who vote for these people in Texas want to see them running or fighting? That's just a simple question.
I just want to clear up where Democrats are with the redistricting fight.
Okay.
What they want is an independent commission. Texas Democrats introduced legislation in Texas that, of course, went nowhere because Republicans don't want an independent commission. What is there in California? An independent commission. Democrats would prefer a fair process and an independent commission.
Sochi,
no,
California,
it is. That's exactly the point. I'm not done. They wanted an independent commission. And the only reason that they're doing this is because Texas Republicans are not playing it fair to Texans, and they're trying to rig the system ahead of the midterm elections.
I think Democrats
and
look
President Trump
politically
said
weak.
that.
I think
Let's let Scott talk. Yeah, Scott talk.
And it's not going to benefit you guys next
Regarding
year.
California, Republicans get about 40% of the vote, and they have 17% of the congressional seats. So not a great example. But number two, if it's rigging the election, that's your words, in Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the
I do not
elections been
agree.
rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
Damn.
They did a normal redistricting process. If states
Normal.
end up going,
Are they
like
gerrymandering?
if states end up going and calling special sessions and doing all of these things to try to gain seats, I agree. I don't agree with that. Do I think they need to do it? Absolutely, because if Republicans aren't going to play fair, then Democrats aren't going to play fair, and that's the fight that we have to have right now.
But Democrats aren't playing fair in some of the states we
All right, we'll see what happens when every state starts redistricting every year, every 2 years, where that leaves us. It's going to be chaos.
I have to say about the young lady, all that was just fundraising language. We got to fight. We got to fight. The Republicans going to do. We got to fight too. We got to fight too. Okay, but before I give you my thoughts, let's go to one last video, guys, of why I believe that the Democrat Party is realistically freaking out about this. Right? Freaking out about it. Let's go here. Let me see if I can get it this way real fast. Let's see. Let me see if I can do it this way, Paul. Okay. This is a gentleman that's actually on. He is on X. He talks about of what he believes the reason and why Democrats are panicking. Here we go.
This is why Democrats are so scared of gerrymandering. Because every blue state is already gerrymandered to the maximum possible extent.
Whoa.
None of these states have a Republican congressperson. These states have one Republican congressperson, and these states have 2 to 5. Which means the only states that they could gerrymander more to get rid of Republicans would be California and New York. Those are their only options. Whereas Republican states are not as gerrymandered, so they have tons of options and tons of places where they could do so right now. And if every Republican state starts gerrymandering, it adds up very quickly. Like Texas and Florida alone could add 10 plus seats. But when you factor in Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, and other smaller red states, Republicans could gain over 15 seats in the House.
Wow.
And Donald Trump is going to pursue this strategy, which is why J.D. Vance is in Indiana right now. Because Indiana could gerrymander to gain 2 plus seats. And if you want to figure out how this is legal, follow me because I'm going to make another video about it.
So again, if you listen to what he just said, kind of sounds about right. Kind of sounds about right, guys. Now here are my thoughts on this redistricting thing. From the Republican side, this is a power move. This is about power politics. This is what it's about. They hold the majority in Texas. Texas can redraw the map, so they're doing it. The same power play that California did, Maryland did, Pennsylvania did, right? And Illinois did. This is power politics. That's all it is. That's all it is. Power politics. Someone said, do I have a call line? No, I don't have a call line at all, unfortunately. I may do that later on, guys. We're working on making it a little bit more accessible. But don't have a call line. So I'm probably in the next couple months I'll get that going. I'll bring people on. You can call in. But you're welcome to put your comment in here. And what I can do is someone said sound like a fool. Okay, great, no problem. You listen to a fool, a wise fool though. So I must be saying something of value because you're watching me. Sucks to be you. Okay, let's get back. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to go and check somebody real fast. No problem. It is what it is. Now, both sides are flexing their muscles. Earlier on, the Democrats have done this fairly well. They've done this in all the states above New York State have been gerrymandered. and they have zero Republican representation in the U.S. House. Zero. Not one. Right? Texas has some, as far as when it comes to Democrats. Illinois has been gerrymandered so bad. It was crazy. But anyways, at the exact same time, what's happening is, if you look at it, it seems to be that both sides are flexing their political muscle. That's what's happening. It just so happens that the liberal side doesn't like that the Republicans are doing this, and it's being led by President Trump. It is. He came out and said it. He really has. Can you say it's rigging? Potentially. But if it's rigging for Texas, it's rigging for Pennsylvania. It's rigging for Illinois. It's rigging for the states above New York State. Pennsylvania, it's rigged. They rigged it. So you can't cry foul when you've already done it already. We're talking about in 2016, 2018, 2020, 2021, 2023. New York just did it. And it got slapped down by a judge, by the courts. Because like, man, you can't do this, man. This is illegal. So this is just a power move. Now, if you look at the verbiage that's actually being stated on the media, it is a lot of political talk to raise capital, raise money. The Texas Democrats left. Why? To be looked as martyrs of fighting for some cause, right? To raise capital, raise money. And they're raising money. They are. They really are. I gotta give it to them. They are. They're raising a lot of money. A lot of money. A lot of money. So at the exact same time, that's what's going on there. This is a political theater. It realistically is. It's just straight up power politics. It is. Can it get messy? Yes, it can get messy. I think it'd be stupid if every 2 years the states redraft and redraw the lines. It's the dumbest thing in the world. But I will say I agree with this young man that actually presented, to where I believe the reason why the Democrats are panicking right now is because they don't say that they can kind of maybe redraw in is California, but that's a long process because they have to go through a constitutional amendment. It has to be voted by the people, then voted by the independent commission. I mean, it's a long process. But even if that's done, you're looking at Texas can get 5 seats, Florida 5 seats, 2 in Ohio, that's 12. Indiana up to 2 seats, that's 14. Missouri 1 seat, that's 15. So you're looking at a net gain of 15 for the Republicans. A possible net gain for California is 5. So you have a delta there of 10. So the Democrats still lose because they lose 10 seats. They lose 10 seats. Does that make some sense? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of the political talk on the liberal side is to raise money. That's all it is. It's to raise money. And they're succeeding. They are raising money. They are. Is this going to work? No, not at all. Not at all. They are not at all going to raise that. They are not. This is not going to solve anything at all. And what's kind of sad to me on the liberal side is you have some members from the Texas House and Senate still in Texas, but hiding. Hiding. So the Texas Department of Public Safety state troopers out there actively looking for these members now. Some of them in New York, some of them in Illinois, some of them in Massachusetts. Yeah, J.B. Pritzker and the mayor of Massachusetts, and and talking, and the governor of Massachusetts, governor of Massachusetts, and the governor of New York. They're all trying to vie for, I'm going to be the leader of the Democratic Party. No, they're not. No, they're not. This is a power grab. This is for them to be able to audition to run for president. Notice how J.B. Pritzker actually had jbpritzker.com behind them when they were talking. They're raising money, and I have to say that I can see the political move, and it may work for them as far as raising money, but they're not going to stop the redistricting. No, it's a done deal. Done deal. And they will gladly walk in front of the cameras, arrested by the Texas Department of Public Safety state troopers. Why? Because it raises capital for them. Raises money. Donors come out and they love it. They love it. Now, on the flip side, on the Republican side, they're making two plays. They're making a money play and a political power play when it comes to seats in the U.S. House. They're making a very big political power play. And the third thing that they're doing is they are deporting illegal immigrants. They're deporting them. So they are decreasing the potential voters for the Democrat Party while redistricting the lines, right? To where they gained most likely 15 gross gained seats, 15 new seats, while only losing 5 to California. California doesn't. So they have a net gain of 10 seats. They see it. Good move by them. As far as redistricting, good move. And I would say good move on the Democrat side for raising money off of it. They're gonna raise money off of it, but terrible move politically. Horrible move for Democrats. Horrible. Ugh. That's it, guys. Man, this was fun walking through this. I live in Texas, so this is. I live in Texas, so I know a lot of these guys. I know a lot of them. So it is what it is. Now, that was a lot, guys. That was a lot. Guys, now, real quickly, excuse me. If you are wanting to pick my brain, all right, if you want to pick my brain, my bad. Pick my brain, guys. Very simple. Hey, guys, you want to ask me questions about business, politics, life, real estate, private equity, relationships, marriage, right? Reach out to your partner on Minnect. Minnect, guys, it's the hottest app on the planet when it comes to connecting with influencers, experts in fields. And Minnect is the place to be. So do me a favor, click on the QR code right there on the screen, or if you look at the links in the show notes, click on the link. Come holler at me. You can talk to me via video conference, text message me, leave a message for me. I do respond. It's me responding. It's me. All right. It's very simple. Now, number 2, guys. Another one of the questions that I get is, hey, LaDale, I want to begin a side hustle. And I agree right now, guys, when it comes to what's going on in the economy, guys, more than ever, you need to begin a side hustle. I think one of the best side hustles on the planet is real estate, right? I own a lot of real estate by God's grace in several different states, right? But the one thing that I tell everybody when it comes to real estate is you make money when you buy, not when you sell. Selling is the icing on the cake. You buy right, execute right, and you can either refinance or sell right, guys. That's how you make money. You make money when you buy right. And in a high inflation and high interest rate economy, you become more of a negotiating hawk to negotiate a lower price point. That's what I do all day long. I guys, whether it be new construction, apartment complexes, office building, warehouses, single-family residences, you name it, the same formula applies. It's the same thing, guys. You want to buy below wholesale. Guys, if you want to download our free ebook, guys, called Distressed Property Investing, it is free. Don't want nothing from me at all. I just want to get you the information, guys. It talks about a strategy in real estate to where you can actually make one phone call to your city council and your city hall and get a list of distressed properties in your city and or county with one phone call and for free. For free. Some cities may charge a little bit of a fee. It is what it is, but it's very minuscule. But most time it is a free list. Some of my best partners, guys, is local governments. Why? because local governments only get paid when they collect one thing. It's called taxes, specifically property taxes. That funds infrastructure for towns, as well as community colleges and schools. Okay, public schools. Property taxes are important. So if they have a number of distressed assets on their balance sheet that is really a liability, they need someone like you and me to come in, acquire it below wholesale, increase the value of it, turn it into a cash flowing asset so that property tax income can come in. This is the reasoning why you make money when you buy real estate, not when you sell. Very simple, guys. So if you want a copy of the free book, it is free. Scan on the QR code below. It is right there, guys, right there. And at the exact same time, guys, or you can click on the link below in the show notes. Or if you can't do either one of those, don't you worry, your partner got you. Direct message me the word real estate. They're on the keys on the screen, and my team will get you out the link today. Real simple, not hard, and it is free. Don't want nothing from you at all. Just want to give you the information. All right, guys. All right. So hopefully you have some value there. Now, guys, and once again, guys, like and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind, guys. If you don't mind, click on the little bell there, guys, and like this video, guys, so we could get the algorithm going. If you don't mind, we have a lot of people on all social media platforms. Like, okay, and share. Right. All right. Do me a favor and for those that are in Texas or in other states, send this video over to them so they can learn what this looks like, because this may happen in their state too. So it's important for us to grow in wisdom, knowledge, understanding on this topic so that we can hold our elected officials, whether they are state, city, county, or federally, accountable, because we voted for them. Does that make sense, guys? All right, guys. Well, guys. Oh, lastly, guys, tomorrow at 5 p.m. CST, Cliff and I will be on here again for Real Estate Friday live, guys. Every Friday at 5 p.m. CST, we do a specific live for just real estate investing by itself. Right? Here's a little sneak peek of what we talk about. Here we go. What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
Again, guys, every Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, come kick with your partner and Cliff. We talk about all things real estate, guys. All right, guys. Well, guys, thanks so much for your time. God bless you. You know I end it every single time, guys. Before you leave, while you can, baby, you see that thing, baby. Take that picture for your mom and them holler at your partner. God bless you, guys. See you next time. All right, y'all. Peace.
Okay, so you did fixes and flips first, or were they? Now it sounds like you're more buying whole. Okay, so you're wholesaling first. Okay,
because I was broke. I had no credit, I had no money, so I had to get some money coming in. So I learned how to do wholesale.
And you were doing wholesaling at the good time too.
2000.
When it wasn't so saturated. There was.
I kind of saw the debacle coming. Okay, it didn't make any sense. I was like, wait a minute, how can you lend out to retail buyers 99.7%?
Yeah,
just a little bit of a down tick. It's insolvent.
And you got to remember, in some states, because I lived in Florida at the time, you could have loan to value above 100% of your property.
Right.
The first property that I bought, it was 110%. We left the bank with like $30,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was amazing to me. I was like, why am I not doing this all the time? But then clearly 08, 09 let me know why people shouldn't have been doing that all the time.
08, 09, that's why I made a lion's share of my money.
Wow. Okay.
Actually running from the cows, I was running to it.
Of course.
Because I saw it was coming.
Okay.
A lot of my business colleagues back then were buying flippers.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was wise for me to share 50% of my profit with Uncle Sam. He didn't do no work.
Okay.
So why would I give him free money?
Of course.
Okay, how can I make sure I'm still legal, but keep the lion's share of the cash flow?
Of course.
So I began studying the tax code with my accountants and CPAs, and I said, okay, I'm going to buy a whole lot of properties. Now watch this. I actually buy a lot of properties. I take home money when I actually acquire it. every single time.
Okay, you need to break that down just a little bit.
If you wanted to know how successful real estate investors make money with their acquired real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below or swipe up and download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed, holla at your partner, and download the ebook today.